Oh my god.
This episode is brought to you by Squarespace. Professional intro time. Welcome everyone to my worst script. That's the name of the show. That is also the topic of this video. Don't clap. I'm joined by stop laughing. I'm joined by three of my friends. In the corner, the guy who can't keep it together. Anthony is the person I met in real college, and Courtney and Julian I met at fake college. And wait, it gets better. It gets better. These are, you're all friends that I.
Did you write these down?
What?
Did you write these jokes down?
No. It's all like up there in my mind palace, dude.
It's impressive.
It's this door that's labeled epic, and I open that. The jokes just like come out. Anthony and I did a podcast called From Bad to Worse. We did PFC Gaming. Julian and Courtney I worked on Stereogram with, our comedy sketch series. I'm glad you're all here because all three of you are people that I've worked on films with since forever. And we've all written stuff, and I really wanted you all here for a script read. Transition to script. This script I wrote probably 5 or 6 years ago. This is my Star Wars fan script, and it's called Fury Across the Stars.
Oh, excuse me, Mike, you misspoke. It's first.
I was really into it all the time, or at the time. Then I remember giving it to Julian, and which he tore it apart. And that's why I'm really happy you're here again.
I have no recollection of that event.
That's great.
I'll have to do it again.
I'm sure something will trigger the memory.
Our goal is to make Michael cry.
So. I'm Mike. I will be playing the narrator and the character of Mira. Who, I don't know, should I say who the characters are, or should we just wait?
Let the script speak for itself.
Okay. Julian.
I'm not going to say much, but we'll get there.
It'll speak for itself, don't worry. Julian, you will be playing the title role of Aiden. I know you really wanted it. You worked really hard. You got it. Yes. Courtney, you're going to be playing 2 roles. You're going to be playing Clay with a K, and Enid, Eenad.
All right. Cool.
I think that's how it's. It's not.
You have to tap me in and remind me about that.
Okay. You'll know when Enid comes in.
Okay.
And.
Okay.
My friend was reading this. My friend Will just sent a text and he just says sex.
Oh, he just put the person.
Anthony, are you ready to play a villain?
Yes, I am. Holy shit.
You're going to play the role of Varric. Varric. Yes. These are all names I picked that sound like they'd be in the Star Wars universe. And no, the enjoyment of this script does not rely on Star Wars knowledge. I speak for the 1/4 of us who's not into Star Wars. And it's okay. Before we get into an episode 9 rant. Okay, let me know when everyone's
for our other show.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like a 5 hour.
Yeah. Part 1, 5-hour video. Everything wrong.
Okay, so I'm just saying, why did Palpatine?
It'll have like the thumbnail will be like
big red arrows.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like the big red glowy eyes.
Yeah.
Like it'll be coming out of like Brie Larson, even though she's like not in the movie.
I like it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
We're recording a show right now.
I don't care. I got 100 gigabytes of free space. I can record as much as I want.
I do not have 100 gigabytes of free time this evening.
Let's do it.
Okay, no one needs like a... Do you need like a recap on who they're playing?
It will reach through the computer and throttle you. What do you think Barrett's persona is?
No. No, we're going.
Okay. Interior. Spaceship. Night, day. It's space. It's fucking space. Open to a yellow-tinted, star-filled outer space. A black ship soars through the abyss. From a distance behind, another ship lingers. I say yellow-tinted because in this movie, I was going to make the stars like have like a yellowish kind of twinkle. Because in the main Star Wars, it's blue, and I was all different. From the view of the ship, a planet starts to grow. From the view of the stars, two people sit in the cockpit. A woman, Mira, with brown hair, wearing a black cloth outfit. A man, Clay, the pilot, with a brown jacket. A third person walks in behind the seats. Aiden, a blonde-haired man in a brown and beige robe. He puts his hand on Clay's shoulder in appreciation. When I wrote Aiden, I pictured Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy.
I don't know who that is, but judging by the wardrobe, I know everything I needed to know about character.
Charlie Hunnam is he's a dude from Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim.
Oh.
Blonde hair, okay.
Arthur, Guy Ritchie, King Arthur.
I'm going in blind.
Okay, that's fine.
This is pure acting.
Okay.
Uninfluenced.
Okay, so that's the scene heading, and then we go and Clay speaks.
Oh. Once we're in the atmosphere, I'll need navigation.
Don't worry. I can find the temple.
He looks back and forth between the crew.
I owe you both.
Mira looks at him. This will make things right.
Was this ring before or after Filmmaker?
I don't know. I should have looked that up. I can like look and see when it was made, when the file was made, I guess. No, because I downloaded it recently.
I think this was before, so I'll give you credit.
The ship rumbles slightly.
Atmosphere?
No. Let me see here.
He scans the icons. The ship jolts.
I've gotta...
The Star Trek like wobble. The ship thuds back and sends everyone forward. An alarm goes off. Someone's docking.
But who?
We didn't even see them.
They're at the hangar.
Who? No question mark. Who? Oh, the crew. The crew looks at Aiden.
I have to go.
He goes to the exit. Aiden.
Bring it in.
Oh shit.
Wait.
Okay.
That aren't allowed to love, Mike. You know that.
Aiden's.
Am I a Jedi?
I don't know. I also don't remember the time frame that this takes place. Oh, you weren't kidding. Aiden, Mira says. She runs up and kisses him. They look at each other for a beat.
Oh, y'all actually
Yeah, and then I lost my place. He looks at Clay and nods.
be with you.
It's the line. It's a Star Wars line. That's how you know it's a Star Wars movie.
I get it. We're in Star Wars.
We're in Star Wars.
This is one where they trek through space, right?
Yeah.
They, like,
The ring. Aiden walks out and through a sequence of dark hallways before coming to a bigger room. Interior, ship hangar. Aiden is up on a ramp looking over the hangar. It's like kind of like a big hangar, and it's like a decently. It's like the Firefly ship, like that kind of size.
All the stuff you're telling me should have been in the script. Like the fact that you have to break through reading the description to give us description, not great.
That wasn't a criticism I was prepared for.
I forgot we were supposed to be making Michael cry. I'm just enjoying it.
He stops. Oh, okay.
Mike, you'll always be alone. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Aiden is up on a ramp. He looks over the hangar, the large hangar. He stops, sensing something. A voice comes out of the darkness in front of him.
Search community stars for you.
Can you say that again?
I thought it sounded cool when it was all dark.
It did sound cool, yeah.
It's a cool going boy.
Aiden, search community stars for you.
Varric.
Okay, that time it just sounded like a list.
I'm doing my best, guys. Aiden, I've searched many stars for you.
It just like in the, I've searched.
Bring some kind of dramatic flair to this goddamn reading. All right.
Thank you. Your mic isn't set to cool though. It's not set to cool frequencies.
Search community stars for you.
There we go.
That was kind of cool, actually. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Varric.
Get real close to the mic.
Varric, come.
I've searched many stars for you. Yeah, turn the voice down.
Yeah. Where he like has to flip it like ding. Varric comes out of the darkness, slightly in the light, on the ramp in front of Aiden. He has a withered white mask that reveals his red-stained eyes. His outfit is a black cloak with dark metal shoulder pads and breastplate over it. He walks with assertiveness and attitude. Aiden stiffens.
What brings you here?
And when what is yours behind our backs, you're mistaken.
That last line didn't pick up.
This ends here. Fuck.
Not much of a choice.
Wait, there is no choice. Whatever the force has set its way. What?
It sounded cool. That sounded pretty cool. The way the force.
Fine, mate.
The way the force has set its way.
Force set its way.
I put way twice. Set it away. He ignites a red lightsaber, illuminating
Shit, am I a Sith?
illuminating red around him.
Huh?
Do I need my saber for like the sound effect?
So is it red or is he a blue guy?
It's a red dude.
I'm a red guy. I am here to see the path through.
Oh shit, that's a line. I thought I was about to read the next part. I was like, that was cool. That was cool improv, dude.
It's called sit back and let Michael read block text.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Aiden pulls his robe back and pulls out a hilt. Kind of like Obi-Wan. He tightens both hands around it as he sturdily brings it up. A yellow blade ignites upward. Because I fucking love yellow lightsabers. He stiffens his blade. It illuminates a very serious face. They stand for a beat. Apparently, I had just learned the word beat. They stand for a beat, waiting for each other to make a move. Varric is unfazed. Aiden brings his lightsaber up, prepared to make a forward strike. A second red lightsaber ignites behind Aiden and strikes at him immediately. Aiden blocks.
Spikes?
I was trying to get past that. I was like, I hope they're like not reading along with this part. It's a really cool part though. Ignites behind him and strikes at him immediately. Aiden blocks it because he was fucking ready because he's a Jedi. Aiden blocks it in a prepared fashion. Apparently I wrote that. I didn't have to say it. Ened, a second Sith, is revealed. An apprentice with a gray and rocky face and a black and purple.
Yeah, just a classic country girl.
Well, the way the Force said its way.
Fuck y'all, I'm just gonna do a fucking accent, now you ruined it.
Sorry. You can do it. You can do whatever you want. So, apprentice with a gray and rocky face and a black and purple detailed outfit. She snarls. Not a second sooner does Varric also come at Aiden with equal speed and ferocity. I just want to point out, when I wrote this action sequence that's coming up, I was listening to This Bright Flash by M83, which is like a really cool song. Aiden handles...
We're talking about that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it says she snarls. How would the actress here interpret that? I just wanted to see.
I have a rock face. I don't understand how I'm supposed to snarl.
That's a good point.
Like rebuttal.
I think when I wrote snarl, I was picturing like a facial expression, not a sound.
But still, I'm imagining rock.
Like a rock kind of looking. I mean, she's not like made of rock.
Am I made of stone? Am I like the thing in the fantastic?
No, I think Enid just had
Talking about acne.
huge, like a teenage apprentice. I think it was like a gray, like a gray face, like a gray rough textured face species.
If I'm rough. Okay.
It's like makeup that's just been for too long.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a character that would like fit that explanation, but nothing comes to mind.
That one character from Descender.
Oh,
Tulsa's second in command. That big dude.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. It's a dope comic. I'm going to move on now to this action sequence. Aiden handles them both in a rotating motion, dodging one blade while deflecting the other. They move along the ramp, back and forth. Aiden starts flailing around more frantically to keep up with the two Sith, at one point doing a flying kick into Enid's face while clashing with Varric's saber. I really, really like that visual. Varric pushes Aiden's saber down and it cracks the railing of the ramp, sending a...
Sending a dick flying.
I don't know.
What is it with you and dick?
Sending a dong echoing through I meant to put ding. It sends a dong echoing through. It's like, boom.
What's my motivation?
If you wanted me to not think it's a dick, put it in all caps, then I'll think it's a sound.
Oh.
It looks like dick.
A dog.
He cracks the railing of the ramp, sending a penis.
This will begin to make things right. And a penis just flies in through the window. He sends the sound of a dong echoing. Dong. It's a metallic thing. It's a dong. The ramp tilts. Aiden slides off. Varric jumps down after him. The hangar floor is an open space. Their fight becomes less circus-like, and then transitions to pure strength as each saber clash is filled with a drive to push forward and aggression. Varric does a spin move, both hands holding the saber. That throws Aiden off balance and forces him to rotate. He stops mid-rotation and stares at Enid, holding Mira down with her saber to her neck.
Don't even move.
Mira.
Your days are over, mister. Mira is distraught and tearful. She and Aiden stare at each other hopelessly. Varric stays behind as he talks. The sabers are still ignited.
You thought you could hide forever. Thought the Sith is so blind.
How?
Wait.
Hot take.
What?
What?
You thought the Sith is so blind. It should be you thought the Sith are so blind.
Sorry, I'll hand in my nerd card now.
Also, blind is offensive to people who are blind. Like, you should change that phrasing.
Okay.
So, fuck.
Where were we? How?
How?
Once a Sith, always a Sith.
What?
It's you.
Oh, it's me.
Yeah.
What?
Don't. Hold on.
What?
Don't play anymore.
It's okay.
Don't.
Do you want me to save it for you?
Oh, I got it.
All right.
Don't play any more games with it.
I don't see these mistakes till like the moment they're read.
What?
Play any more games with it.
The cousin of it, a very ferocious space demon.
Oh my. You turned her against his! Oh, it's me. Sorry.
Teacher. Give you the power.
Oh, fucking A.
Let the is die. Fill it if you have to.
When the moment came, I is hesitate. Oh, fuck.
I am your is.
Oh, man, why didn't you tell Iz? Okay. Okay. Do Iz.
Who's it supposed to be?
Us, I assume.
With us.
It's us. Oh, yeah, I thought that was clear. Aiden, what are they talking about?
I don't know.
Hopefully, we can spot a Sith parsecs away.
You have this all wrong. I'm not a Sith.
All you have to do is come back, Aiden. It's been a great power.
Uh-oh, we lost you on that last line.
And I see hope is lost for you.
Enid holds her blade back for a strike. Mira's eyes widen.
No, please.
Pay the price. You'll have to watch her die. And we will take care of you.
Enid's saber swings at Mira's neck and abruptly stops. Enid's arm trembles. Mira gives a roaring scream. Lightning emits from her, zaps a most surprised Enid, which travels throughout the hangar. Aiden and Varric are thrown back as the ship swings around. Interior.
Your dong pit.
Dong fit. What was that dong? Interior cockpit. Clay struggles with the ship's controls as things spark.
Oh no.
From his view, he sees the ship flying toward the planet's surface. Exterior ship. Night. It's actually night now. The ship twirls. The Sith.
Not day night.
No, it's actually night. It's night now when it's getting close. It's not night day. It's getting closer to the atmosphere.
It's night.
It's night.
Night.
That's what Varric should have said. It's night now.
Night for you.
Interior ship. The ship twirls. The Sith ship detaching from it in the flurry. Interior ship hangar. The hangar door flies open. Aiden catches Varric in the turmoil and flies at him with the saber. He pushes Varric out of the ship, then loses his balance and falls out too. There's like, ah! I don't know. The ship collides into the ground. An area of dirt. They flew to the surface like really fast. The ship collides into the ground. An area of dirt land with patches of grass. There is nothing in the distance. Enid burnt.
I'm sorry, wait, you started this with Enid burnt to a crisp.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to throw off your groove there, but
No, it's fine. It's fine. It would have been lost like tears in the rain if none of you brought this shit up. Okay, Enid burnt to a crisp, struggling to breathe, slowly drags herself up. A red blast hits her in the torso. That's my blast sound. Knocking her back down. Clay limps up, leaning against the wall of the ship, I presume, and repeatedly shoots her with his blaster well past her death. After he stops, he breathes heavily, and clutching his side, kneels down to sit. Exterior, planet surface, night. Aiden's eyes open. He is facing the crashed ship in the distance. He hears a rustling and sees Varric strike his lightsaber down on him. In front of him, another red lightsaber deflects the blow, right in front of his eyes. Mira holds Enid's saber and is fuming at Varric. She charges him, stepping over Aiden, and they begin dueling. Mira's saber skills are proficiently good. Aiden looks extremely surprised, then looks toward the ship and sees his lightsaber hilt sticking out of the ground. He force pulls it. Yeah, just like the movie. He force pulls it and runs toward the fight. Mira and Varric fight with a combination of fencing and twirls. Just picture that. Varric clashes sabers and throws her back, giving Aiden a line of sight. He yells, "Ah!" and starts fighting. Mira lightens up as she regains herself and sees Aiden. Oh.
now what do you mean by she likes?
I don't.
Too serious?
Maybe she's like
Get happy because Aiden's alive?
Maybe she gets like more adrenaline. I don't actually know. Mira lightens up.
She's literally glowing. Light.
She just like.
See the lightsaber?
She's the lightsaber. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. And Aiden just fights with her as the saber.
I'd pay money dollars to see that.
Mira
Eats his girlfriend at his enemies.
That's what it's going to be called. Star Wars eats his girlfriend at his enemies. Mira lightens up emotionally as she regains herself and sees Aiden. She clicks on like a light bulb. They'll just do the light bulb, like the click, like, and then she just goes at it. They both fight Varric, starting from his front and gradually rotating until they are opposite on each side of him. Varric gives a series of yells as he takes turns jabbing at the two, only to meet counter moves. Mira's saber throws Varric's back far enough and Aiden slices off his right arm. Varric screams and falls to the ground. Aiden and Mira walk around him, ready for the kill.
No, they walk. They walk.
Aiden and View walks around him, ready for his kill.
There you go.
Only you.
Oh, wait, I have to cut you off. Do it again.
Only.
Mira takes Varric's head off in a clean swoop. He is no more. Mira turns around to see Aiden backing up, keeping distance from her. She turns to him. They both keep their blades ignited.
You are a Sith?
I was. So was I. There's.
You just started.
I know.
You can do this all day.
No strings on me. They are silent for a beat, but I chose a different path. Super fucking vague Jedi talk. They stare at each other. The crashed ship is the only notable thing in the background. The only sound is coming from the sabers. Aiden's saber hilt drops to the ground. They run up to each other. That's the last line. They run up to each other and lock lips. The view.
You gotta get through it.
You roasted.
I can't do it. I'm not strong enough. The view. Okay, they run up to each other and lock lips. The view tilts up to show the stars. The end.
That was the script.
And they say that a hero can save us. No.
Okay, but seriously, where's the script?
Is this the practice episode?
All right.
What do you think?
I think the big takeaway we can all agree on is proofread your scripts before setting them to a group of people to do a live reading for a new video podcast.
Punctuation.
Punctuation is important,
Okay, cool.
and grammatically correct is important.
Story structure is important.
So very important.
Character development is also important. Blocking scene in the script is important. No blocks of text is important. No Star Wars rip-offs are important. Those are just my top three.
It's a craft writing dialogue. It's difficult. It's difficult to embody different characters and really figure out what their voices are.
Clearly.
And I think that art form of dialogue writing was maybe a little lost in the script. Maybe less generic Star Wars jargon and a little bit more actual people talking. Good. There's something to be said about planting your seeds in the first act so they can bloom in the third act, and there's some twists and turns in there that were not planted. There's some flowers in that third act that just kind of popped up without us seeing the script.
Vigorously shoved into the planters.
Yeah.
Make room.
Also, on a scale from 1 to M. Night Shyamalan, this was a little bit too close to M. Night Shyamalan in terms of the sheer amount of twists that were in that final part of it. Also, in such a short script, maybe be a little more conscious of what characters are getting some page, or their word count dedication, because Enid, really, have been completely cut from the script, and nothing would have changed. No.
Save some for the rest of us.
Alright, yeah, continue. I'm just rambling. Sorry.
Yes.
Please.
Okay, I wrote mine down so that I would remember.
Oh boy.
So,
Did you proofread it?
like, just a few things that I noticed. The characters are garbage. The font is garbage. The misspellings are asinine. The dialogue is that of a third grader or a fetus. The subject matter is rather esoteric and maudlin, and you're a fucking lush if you expect people to like it.
Overall,
A 3 out of 5.
How'd I do again?
There was mentioned some too many twists pushed in the third act. Can I
We call it the third act.
can I hear an example?
That Aiden was a Sith, that Mira was a Sith, that they both happened to be on the same ship and in love.
Aiden's not a Sith.
Was it he though?
No.
He says he's not. That's the whole point, isn't it?
That's why he's thrown off. Because he thinks they're talking about him.
Oh, I thought he was just lying.
No. It was Mira who was lying. That's why he's so thrown off. He's like, what are you talking about?
so another point, clear writing.
Yeah, clarity of intention there, right?
Just pepper in, like, one thing that, like, could have alluded to her being a Sith at one point earlier. Like, it's
Okay.
a short script, you really don't need much, but one little dot.
I think my biggest problem with this is overall, I just don't know what's happening. Like they're on a ship, and then it's a huge chunk of the script is the saber battle, and then a couple twists at the end. But I don't really know these characters. I don't really know what they want,
Except Dick.
except some dong.
Dong. They would dong.
Yeah, so I think that was my trouble with it, is I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know why we were there. Like, why were we on the ship in the beginning? I don't think that was covered. Yeah, just not sure what the art was. Just make it better.
I'm with Julian, and like with the character of Clay too. Like, also it's a superfluous character. He just has a couple lines, and like, yeah, he kills one of the Sith. Mm-hmm. Like, he also easily just could have died in the crash.
Yeah, I think Clay was a harsh victim of Courtney just opted out. I was gonna say it was Clay's. He's like a circumstance of like, oh, it's a Star Wars thing. I have to put a scruffy pilot in it.
Right.
Which I'm not defending at all.
Beginning the script, they're clearly doing something. We never know what they're doing, or where they're going, or why they're going, what they're trying to get, what they're trying to do.
Yeah, should we wait?
They're attacked, and then that never comes back, and what it turns into is this weird love story that's never developed in any real way.
Okay.
And if that's the point, make it the point.
Yeah. Should we wait for Courtney to come back?
I didn't even realize she
I was
was
going to say her phone probably died.
Oh.
No, it didn't.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hey,
It just overheated.
I only put Enid in because I really wanted that scene where a second red lightsaber comes out, and it to show Aiden's a Jedi, he's prepared for this shit. But then I did it, I'm like, oh, now I have to keep Enid in the whole script. So I did.
Remember that thing I keep saying? Cut your darlings?
Mm-hmm.
I know you hate that phrase, and that's not my phrase, obviously. It's a very, very common critique. But I think that's maybe what you struggle with the most. is you get very set on a very specific thing you want.
Yeah, I did.
Paint yourself into a corner that you have to like continue
Yeah.
just because you want that. But if you just cut it, just take it out, you could have a script that flows a lot more.
That is true. The script was like mostly things I thought were cool ideas, and so then I put it into a script. Now I think I've gotten better in where I think of cool ideas, and because I don't think of a script for it, I don't do it.
The key to writing is just don't. Right?
Yeah.
Big secret.
Yeah.
That's why I started my lucrative career as a comic writer.
I actually, there are things there are some ideas I actually do like. What do you actually think of the Sith stowaway? Like the character, like the character like Mira, who's secretly a Sith. And
It's interesting. I mean, you know, and we just got last year. This year, I don't know. My time will go like that. We just got a similar story in Jedi Fallen Order where you're a guy who survived the Purge and is in hiding, and then discovered in the Center. You know, in that way, like talking about like a Sith stowaway, and similarly, you have like that Jedi stowaway story. You know, so there is something there for sure that's super interesting. You can't dedicate so much page space to Aiden. The more interesting character to you as the writer is Mira. You know?
I think that's the problem with a lot of short films and short scripts is that people jam a lot of stuff into such a short script.
Oh,
You want to tell a feature film, but in 7 pages, it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
You gotta really like hone it in. Like, what's your theme or arc or something? Because you got a couple characters that, like Anthony was saying, you just don't have enough time to flesh out. If you want to flesh them out, you're gonna need like 3 times as many pages to let it like really hit you. You know, otherwise it just comes across as like you just threw it in there.
I think that's Julian just hit it on the head where it's just like what's your theme for this? What are you trying to say in this script? Because that theme, and I was taught to think of themes as a thematic question, so not a question that can be answered with a one-word answer, a kind of a general open-ended question, and then the way you write your project, you as the writer trying to answer the question. Whether or not you do is completely unrelated, but that's always your guidance. So with this, I don't know what this was trying to say. Not to put words in your mouth at all, but I don't think you know what this was trying to say.
No, I was just trying to write cool Star Wars.
Yeah, and that's like totally what I did in this 2013 era. I just wanted to make cool sci-fi shit and just make cool battles. Like I wanted like just an excuse to film a lightsaber fight is like what I want.
Yeah. That doesn't defend the script, but it's definitely. I know.
If you wanted to film a full lightsaber fight, I mean, do that. And a really easy way to pare the script down for that is just you open with Aiden running through this powered down ship with this Sith hunting. You just clash in the crash ship, and
It's just a fight. Yeah.
It's a story.
Yeah.
In the action, in the action, the viewer reader gets all they need, and that it's just like, oh, this guy's just being,
Yeah.
I guess the thing with short films is that it's like if you have 7 pages, your first act has to happen in the first page. You gotta like introduce the setting, characters, like the beginning of the arc, and then you gotta like jump right into it because I think it kind of meanders for like a third of the script, and then we still don't know exactly what's happening. You just get lost in it. You just gotta get right to the point with short films. It's like 1 minute to 10 minutes. Like I gotta understand everything that's happening in like the first minute. or two. Usually,
Yeah.
you know,
Just
short films can do it differently, but I think usually just hook us really fast with like what's happening, what's the point, what's the story.
Did this script come off like it was just thrown into the middle of a plot or a story?
Kinda.
I wasn't going anywhere with that.
Not in a intentional way. You know?
Yeah.
There's some movies and books and everything that like start in media res, right? And it's intentional. You can tell it's intentional. It goes from there. You're just given the bare minimum information you need at the beginning. Just understand what's happening in that moment, and then it goes from there. This did not feel intentional.
Okay. Yeah, it's just funny because in my head, like when we were going to the script, I was like, "Oh yeah, they're looking for the Jedi Temple," and like now I read it, I'm like, I didn't mention that at all. I'm like,
Yeah,
was that? I was like, was that what was happening? And now I'm like questioning if that was it, but like, it must have because it was on my mind. But then I read, I'm like, I didn't even put that in. I know, like, looking for a Jedi Temple is like the most fucking basic ass Star Wars plot, but like I could have. It's just weird that I was.
Would have been better than this.
No.
We're still trying to make it cry, right?
It's okay.
Well, you guys got all serious. I didn't realize we were giving legit advice. Are these scripts that we are looking for genuine advice on?
I didn't know what to expect, but this is actually like really great script talk. This is fine. This is fantastic.
It kind of boils down to that eventually.
Yeah, I think it's cool. No, I love it. I love talking about scripts, so it's totally fine that this got into an actual like critical talk.
I think the characters need to be fleshed out. You need an arc. Also, your script's just terrible. Kind of all over the place.
Well,
Also, it's called Fury Across the Stars. It's more like Fury Across this one little patch of dirt.
like Fury across my dome. It's okay though, cause now I read a screenwriting book, so now I know how to write every script, and everything's fine. I saved it. Which actually, after I read that, and yay, with 2 M's. Which now that I read that, I actually think about it. I'm like, oh, like the Sith twist could have been like you said, like a B plot that ends up becoming how the A plot ends and shit like that. I could have written a beach
callback, you know, like plant the seed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one thing that could have been interesting is that if you focus the story on that twist, like you meet these two characters, and then at the end of the first act, you reveal somehow that character is a Sith, and then you deal with that. Like the story could be about that, you know?
I like that, coupled with the idea to make the Sith a main character. That's cool. But like still secretly.
Why? There's a lot of internal conflict for that. Like, why did that Sith character become a Sith?
Mm-hmm.
Why that character decide not to become a Sith? That's like that's like identity. Is like your theme,
right? And if the thing is she's a stowaway and she's running, make it that she's running, right? Make her nervous, make her want to get to where she's going to get to as soon as possible. Make like these every little hiccup that slows them down, like show why that is her just incredibly anxious and irate and terrifying.
Okay.
But we're like that ship docks, then she senses it and she's like, oh no. Or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give her a visual goal. It's a visual storytelling. So she's wanting to get from here to here because of her identity, or running from her past, or what have you. Then you run into an obstacle, and there's your setup right there.
Well, I didn't plan on this, but this is making me want to rewrite it. Even though I had no...
And that's the thing too, right, with that character, because Sith are inherently selfish characters, right? So the choice she makes then in the second act will then inform, like what the third act does, inform who her character is moving forward in this, in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Where, when they're boarded, does she cut and run and leave everybody else in that ship to their fate, or does she stay and fight to try to help the people who are hoping for her?
Yeah.
Yeah, her
She feels
character is
remorse or is
asking-
she selfish?
Yeah, her character's asking the question like, "Who am I? I'm not a Sith. I want to do this," and that also you ponder to the audience, who is she really? And that's the answer you get at the end, is we find out who she is based off of a core decision she makes in the plot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and a broad thematic question is like, you know, if I'm more than what my past has made me, how can I show that to people? No?
Am I more than what the past has made me? Is that what you said?
If
That's
I'm
cool.
more than what the past has made me, how can I move forward in my life? Or just whatever, right? But it's just like, don't make it a yes or no question, but like if that character is about identity, if the story is about identity, what are you trying to say about it?
Okay.
About the question about identity you're trying to answer with this character in the script.
It has some social commentary too, especially with cancel culture, stuff like that. Like, oh, that's not who I was, yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's like a lot of what society is grappling with right now.
Yeah.
Is how does society deal with an identity of a person based off their past actions or recent actions? You know, so now you're tying it into the current culture, which is just another layer.
And then you can have the character of Aiden be that kind of foil to that, where he, is that
Challenger.
other side of that. Challenger. And like
He's the Boy Scout.
here to the dogma of the Jedi, stringently. You know,
Mm-hmm.
is he more Qui-Gon or is he more Mace Windu?
I feel like Qui-Gon and Mace Windu were both very pushy against the code. Or do you mean like Mace Windu was like very strict on upholding it, and then Qui-Gon was okay?
I got to test the boundaries.
Yeah.
Interpret it.
I guess more like is character of Aiden more willing to recognize people as people, and the mistakes they make are mistakes and people can move past that? Or is he one who will condemn her off the bat from what she was?
It's like what Aiden can do, what the audience is like,
Mm-hmm.
like the perspective of the audience
Mhm.
judging her. And in a way, it's like, why did she make the choice to not become a Sith? Was it for selfish reasons or for selfish reasons? Maybe she decided not to become a Sith solely for herself and own self-preservation, which then speaks a lot about the character too. There's a lot of depth here that you can really unravel. You can do it without a lightsaber fight.
Are you saying something?
Like all this Star Wars talk.
Yeah, I'm just tuning in and out, but I will say, wasn't the point of this script to do a dope lightsaber fight? So why would you take that out? Aren't you guys giving good advice to build that up so that the fight?
I feel like. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I'm not saying take it out.
Satisfactory?
Yeah, you gotta have a lightsaber fight.
Oh fuck! What were you saying? You were making such a good point, and I was gonna say I should write that down. Oh my
I was
goodness.
just saying, all these questions we're positing about this.
Oh, right.
To answer at all in the script, but if you answer them for yourself, that's going to be such a useful tool when you go to write that character.
Okay.
If you know everything she's about and the reason why she made the choices she makes and the reason why she's going to make the choices she makes in the script, of the character level, it just makes it more believable. Even if you don't ever touch upon why she left in the script, even if you don't touch upon, where she's trying to get to, or what happened between her and her ex-partner, you don't need to touch on that at all. But as long as you know that's going to make that script and those character choices that much more authentic.
Yeah, you got your internal motivation of the character, but you don't tell the audience that. You show the audience that through her actions, so then the audience can interpret that and come to our own conclusions. And usually, if the writing is good and the directing ends up being good too, that the audience will know that. You just sense the intentions.
And one simple question that will just elevate the script if you answer it You don't do anything else that we're talking about. Just answer this one question. Who is Varric to Mira?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a dynamic villain, like not a flat villain. Like a dynamic.
And he can be a flat villain from his side, but the way she interacts with him should really inform everything we need to know about why she left the Sith, who she is, why she's running, you know. If Varric is nobody to her, if Varric is just somebody that was just sent to hunt her down, that's fine, but show that in the interaction. If Varric was her ex-partner, if Varric was her ex-master, if Varric was her ex-lover, like there's so many layers that one question can answer that would just add so much more to the script if you answer that for yourself.
Yeah. Or even like consequences of her previous actions, just vaguely. That's why the guy is back. Some connection, something.
Mm-hmm. This is so cool. I've learned so much in this fucking discussion that is making me...
Also, your script sucks.
It does, but it's making me want to rewrite it, and I didn't want to, like, I was ready to just, like, move on, but it's making me, like, think, like, oh, man, I should fucking write something like this just to get it out of my system, or now because I'm getting motivationally pumped, which I guess is just the term motivated.
I want to add on the, like, discussing a lot about Mira's identity and stuff like that. Like, that's definitely a good way to focus everything. But what struck me by the end when she was like, oh no, I'm a Sith, it was more of like, whenever I think of characters that have a bad past and are trying to make it better, like, the struggle that really fucking gets me is them trying to deal with, like, how do I be this new person but also hold myself accountable for all my terrible actions in the past? Like, and that to me ties into the current day stuff of we're trying to figure out how we hold, like, murdering cops accountable and stuff like that. So if identity gets you lost, focus on her just wrestling with accountability.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, you can't become a new person if you don't acknowledge the old.
Yeah.
And that's something too that Star Wars struggles with, has struggled with forever. You know? If you're able to do something like that in, like, just a fan script, you're miles ahead of, you know, hacking around.
Let the past.
Yeah, I know. I was like, we've gotten this far without saying "let the past die." This is insane.
Well, that's interesting because Kylo Ren's arc is kind of what we're talking about in a way, and his choice was, hang on there, Courtney, we'll get through it. Kylo Ren's choice
Will you? I don't know at this point.
was he's dealing with an identity crisis in the sequels, but his choice is to let the past die, kill it if you have to, completely ignore the events that happened, completely, like, destroy it and then move on from it, which, you know, I think the theme, or at least what should have been the conclusion, was that's not a good way of doing things. You need to acknowledge the past to fully move on.
He doesn't acknowledge his accountability, and like what Courtney was saying, like acknowledging that accountability, and then in episode 9, yeah, we got to it, guys. Got to it.
4 more hours.
Question of accountability is completely ignored. You know? That character. Never holds accountable. He's never held accountable. Nobody holds him accountable. He doesn't hold himself accountable. And he's able.
Caleb Bond lips, like at the end of the script.
Oh my god. I wrote it first. I wrote it. Yeah, I think, well, because I think they end his story so fast that there's no time for any character to even face that question of him. I guess I'll start with my final thought. I could just feel the way I was thinking at the time when I wrote this. And I definitely learned, this is a first draft by far, and I have always had a problem with not redoing my scripts and redoing drafts, and pumping out more drafts. And so I wish I wrote into it a little more. I wish I rewrote it more. I don't know, you guys made such good points. I don't really know how to follow it up.
Is that a tear?
No, that's the no. It's the
Tears of joy count.
It's the glare. I wish I played.
Thumbnail for this is going to be
What are you gonna cry?
here on Mike's.
Dear my no thumbnail's gonna. I was gonna Photoshop Charlie Hunnam as a Jedi. I really like the word fury, and I really wanted that in a Star Wars title. And I also really like the word. I was very. This has nothing to do with this. I was really bummed that no Star Wars movie had the term knights in the title, and so I almost named this Fury of the Knights because I think that's sick. This is totally derailing from my final thought. This is a Star Wars fan fiction. No, I don't even know how to follow up, you guys, so I'm just going to let you guys do the final thoughts.
Everything we just talked about, but I guess this is going to sound like a joke, like, read your scripts. You know?
It's slightly cut, and it made you say, read your scripts, but I feel like that's an equally important statement.
I meant proofread.
No, I know it said proofread, but like read your scripts is also a very valid piece of
You
advice.
said read your script, and that's honestly not your script.
Okay, yeah.
That's the theme. That's the theme. That's the theme of this video.
Read.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I think that's the final thoughts right there.
You guys are saying read, so I'm saying write. Like,
Oh yes. Go write a.
write again. Do a second draft. Always
Yeah.
do a second.
I want to do a follow-up episode of this script.
Oh, that was fun. Yes, rewrite it, and then we get to tear it down again.
Oh my god. For the 5-year anniversary. I'll
Please actually rewrite.
I'll do it now that I've read into screenwriting and shit and have been trying to take it more seriously. I'll beat sheet this bitch and
I can't wait for it to be even worse.
The gang makes things right. I was gonna say.
Yeah, Michael, it was great.
Yeah, this I will say though, this did come at a time where I realized like, oh, if I have an idea, I can just write it. So my takeaway is just write a thing, even if it's shitty or it might be shitty, because then you'll learn.
Your friends can shit on you.
Yeah, yeah, you'll laugh, you'll cry. It'll be a journey across the stars.
Being good at something is being bad at something.
It's true.
Hey.
It's true.
Doing it.
Good night. No, I'm kidding. Well, I just like.
Hearing like, oh.
What'd you say? Yeah.
That?
Who?
Just saying that us reading the script, and when you said, hey, read your actual script, that kind of shit, like, I have a script in mind now, and I already know a part that I fucked up. I'm pretty excited.
Cool.
I'm like, oh, because I remember, like, turning it in hella late for class and being like, I don't have time to proofread this. No.
We'll
I'm very
take it.
excited to some of my very first comic script.
Yes.
On this fucking show. Yeah. Real bad.
I'm excited to read some shit. I'm very excited. I hope we do. I hope we get to it.
Gotta dig some stuff up. Probably have some high school scripts
Nice.
flying around, maybe.
We're trying to go that far.
I have a Dead Drop sequel script.
You have like 3.
Dude, I came up with the whole arc. Yeah.
I'll fucking read. I'll read it again. Isn't that the one with the desert? Is that the one with like the desert chase?
Yeah.
There's a speeder bike chase in it.
Oh, didn't you want me to be in it?
I don't remember it. Did I know you in 2015?
That's
Yeah, probably.
yeah. That's when you would put it out. Yeah, because we made it. Because you made it right before I met Anthony.
You wanted to film in Death Valley, and you asked me how I felt.
Oh my
in Death Valley.
god, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Filmmakers have died there. And tires have melted.
All of that then.
I was aware that the tires melting. You We were gonna prep.
We can end in a minute if you want. This is cool though.
End it.
Let it die.
Let your script die. Podcast.
A bird by script. When the moment came, I didn't hesitate. Y'all, thanks for being here.
Outro us. Come on.
Yeah, we gotta throw up our fucking.
Anthony, where can we find you?
Find me on Twitter at AYYV_Mauro and on Instagram at AV_Mauro.
Dope.
So, Mike, when are you planning on releasing this?
When I fucking edit it. Hopefully, like,
Well,
in a week, maybe? Week or two?
Okay, yeah. So, Comic-Con International at Home is happening at the end of July because of the coronavirus. So there's not actually going to be a physical convention, but there's going to be a virtual one. It's totally free for everybody. I moderated a couple of panels for Dark Horse Comics that are going to be available on YouTube indefinitely once those dates and times hit for when those panels are going to go live. So you can check that out on San Diego Comic-Con website. So check them out. They're fun.
Cool. Julian, where can we find you?
Not nearly as impressive, and I have no
Aren't we all?
accounts or plugs I want to do. So, as Michael's friend, thank you for letting me be on this podcast.
That's
all I got.
It's nothing. Courtney, where can peoples find you?
Want them behind me.
What?
I don't want. I have no handles. I am not on the internet.
Okay. You don't have a handle on it?
It's all loosey goosey.
All right. It's okay. You can find me at. I have two actual like official things. I have my. You can find me at pylon_bay on Instagram, which is my official filmmaking profile I have now. And which is the same name as this channel. And now I have a pylonbay.com where you can go find my work. And I'm really excited because those are two things I've never been able to plug in before. That's it. Thank you all for joining on this. And everyone have just a great day. Have a great night day.
Great night, Jay.
Night, mate.
The force is you.
Don't mess with is.